Hey Libra, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. Today I got a romantic reading for you. It is April of 2023. So what I'm going to do here is try to do a quick reading. I know we all have stuff to do during the day, but this way you can get an idea as to what's going on between you and whoever this romantic interest is in your life. Libra, I'm going to do my best to get the most clear and concise answers for you, because it's better to have some warning as to what's going on versus no warning at all. That's like my favorite phrase, but it really sums it up, because I don't like walking into a situation completely blind. Just due to the fact that sometimes we don't know the intentions of other people. But well, I'm going to start over here. Libra is going to be your energy, your situation, your power. Like this is you going into this situation. And now let's get whoever this interest is. Let's get this into see what's going on with your partner or whoever this person is in your life. And now this next question I'm going to ask is, what is the primary issue right now? What's the dynamic? You know, where are these energies connecting? What is the issue that we have here? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the meanings of these cards first, and then we'll put it all together so you'll know what's going on, get the whole picture. So, leading it off, and this is you, Libra, leading it off, you have the Five of Cups, which is grief, it's disappointment, it's emotional disappointment. It could be anything from, you thought somebody was, best way to describe it, you were expecting something, you come home and that's not there. It's walking through the door to disappointment. You were supposed to move the couch back, or whatever kind of thing it would be that would just cause you disappointment because your expectations have been subverted. This could be somebody that broke your heart, did something behind your back, which I hope that's not the case. But Libra, people do make mistakes. People do things that hurt other people. So whatever this is, it's emotional disappointment. It truly is. And then you have the Five of Wands, which is drama. It's being overwhelmed. I think overwhelmed, being burdened really has a lot more to do with this. And with Wands representing will more often than not, the general angst that you would have is grief because of being overwhelmed. Do you feel like you're alone? Do you feel like you're by yourself? Is this are you the only one making decisions? Are you the only one that recognizes the problem? That's the kind of situation that this would represent. So Libra, your interest is in a almost completely different mindset. Like their energy is vastly different. It's going to make sense though. They have the Two of Cups, which is emotional, not necessarily celebration, but partnership, union. This person sees a team, let's say. This person feels that the emotional investment from their side is paying off. This is going to get very interesting here in a minute. They also have Three of Pentacles, which is success in the physical world. It's success, it's getting the things that they want. Pentacles represent anything in the physical world, from your flesh and blood, because we are physical beings. It could be, our physique, our looks. It could be all the way to that almighty money. This is a person who is gunning for success, who believes that success, that Picture it like this. You have a partner who's working 12, 13 hours a day, okay? Making money, it's good money, but they're gone for 12, 13 hours a day. And then when they come home, they think about work, they talk about work, everything is work. They go to sleep, they wake up, they brush their teeth, hop in the shower, and head straight to work. Talk to them a few times through the day, all they have is stories about what's going on at work. When you guys have a day off together and you go out and do something nice, there's no problem, you know. Go somewhere nice, we'll take you out to a ridiculously expensive restaurant, go see like 4 or 5 movies, you know, whatever that situation may be. They feel like that work is paying off. They feel like they're contributing to the relationship in a positive way. So the intentions aren't always bad when it comes to people who overwork themselves, but this isn't a romantic reading about work, right? Keep in mind, work is part of life. And you know this. Anybody who's ever done anything in their life, I mean, it doesn't even have to be work. It could be going to a sports game of some kind. Your team loses, you're not in the best of mood. And you might take that home with you. You know, you walk in the door and like, hey, how you doing? My team lost. Or you come back from work. Yeah, it was a rough day, and I just want to go sit down and be by myself for a while. That energy permeates onto everything. It just, life is more complicated than a lot of people want to take into account. So, knowing those two energies, let's go over what the point of contestment is. Contention. There we go. Contestment. I wonder if that's a word. I'm going to have to look that one up. This is definitely about somebody who's not giving you the attention because they're focused on something else. King of Pentacles. Wealth. Wealth is an issue here. Wealth is an issue because they want more of it. You may be in a state of mind that you think everything's okay, and it might be. You may be in a state of mind where you've already reached success, like it's okay, we're fine, you can pull back a little bit. If you work a full-time job as well, Libra, and you're both bringing in enough, why does this person feel that they have to exceed that? You know what I mean? Everybody should live at their means. If you base your life around, you know, so many hours, your guaranteed hours, and anything more, while great, is still extra. And if that extra is draining you because you're the one coming home at 4:30 to an empty place and that person's not going to be home until 9 o'clock, you've already spent your day doing who knows what by yourself. You know what I mean? It's a romantic situation where the romance is one-sided. Because more than likely when they come home, you're excited. You're like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. And they're like, yeah. Tell you what, I'm going to go sit down over there and I'm going to watch TV. Can you grab me a drink? That's it. No good. No good. And this one's all about you. Strength. Strength is literally strength. Sharing your heart, confidence in action. It is showing vulnerability when need be. This is you crying out. This is you with the emotional energy of, I'm trying to get through to you, but it's not happening. They may purposely not be taking you seriously. That is a possibility. Or they may not understand. They may not understand what is going on. So, just to recap here, I'm going to ask a couple other questions, but just to recap what we got here. I don't want you to forget, or, you know, that way when I ask these questions, it will make the most sense. Apologize for that. So, grief, disappointment, being overwhelmed at home, being by yourself, being left behind, being neglected. Libra, that's your energy. That is your energy right now. That is screaming out in fury, like, pay attention to me, listen to me, do something, like, to help me. But this person, they're oblivious to that because they're not around. They're focused so much on that Three of Pentacles. They're focused so much on that success in the physical world. And they think that that is what's giving partnership and union. Because when they come home and you're happy to see them, that validates in their mind, I did good. When you come home and your partner, or you come home and, you know, whoever you see are happy to see you, regardless of how hurt they are, when you see that excitement, you're thinking to yourself, you're doing a good job. That's the situation here. That's the situation. And that's where this problem is. That's where the issue of strength versus wealth. It's emotion versus the physical world. It's a battle of will right now. And right now your strength is waning. It is. Because this isn't something that just happens overnight. You know, this isn't something that just happens right away. This is something that builds up over time. You have a partner that needs to work, you know, a week of overtime to catch up a bill or something. I mean, we're all okay with that. We all understand, you know, it's got to be done. But when you're talking long term, it wears on you. It drains your strength. It lowers your ability to be confident because you don't know what's going on. It lowers your ability to, it increases your vulnerability. It increases your ability to understand that things are bad. And the more we start getting in our head that things are only bad, they are only bad. We validate those emotions in our mind, and then when we're by ourselves with nobody to bounce those off of, I do it, you do it, everybody does it. Scenarios start running in our head. We start running with ideas. We run with it because our minds are just wired to think, what is the next step? What is the next thing that's going to happen? That's survival skills. You know, if you go up to that plant, you have to have the foresight. Is it going to poison me? Am I going to be, is something bad going to happen to me for walking there? You know, we're always looking forward. But when the only thing you see forward is just bad, then we constantly keep looking into that bad, and we build these elaborate stories. We build these scenarios that are absurdly bad, and it could be nothing like that. It could be nothing like that. A lot of times when people work late, sometimes spouses will assume that that means they're cheating. Like, that's a trope you would see on TV. Is that part of your thought process? Why is this person gone so late? From what I'm seeing here, those worst possible thoughts are not the worst possible thoughts. This person's in a mindset, while selfish, is still also kind of selfless. They do see that what they're doing is building toward your union, your partnership. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to ask two questions. One is going to be the one that I know you're definitely wondering. I'm really wondering it too. So Libra. What happens if things continue on as they are? Let's say the grief continues, strength wanes, it becomes this continues with nothing said, nothing done. Give me an answer to that. I'm going to use a separate deck for that. A lot of times I use this one for clarification. I'd like to consider this question a good clarification, if you know what I mean. So, what happens with our Libra if nothing is done? If nothing is said, nothing is done. A lot of swords here. So swords represent different things, like different facets of life to different people who read. I normally associate swords with truth, with reason, with intellect. So, and usually that's what they equate to. It's in general, swords are your ability to see the truth. I have the Four of Pentacles. So if nothing is done, Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is stability. And since this one is more so about this person seeking things in the physical world, life is going to be stable. Life is going to be financially stable. You're likely not going to be looking over your shoulder, worried that the house payment, the car payment, rent payment, whatever it is that you have, those big bills, the phone bill, the internet bill, whatever it is that you rely on the most, in the long run, that's not going to be something that you're going to have to worry about. That's great, right? Like, it's nice not having that nagging feeling, oh, I need to check and make sure that the lights aren't going to turn off tomorrow. That's a good thing, but it comes at a cost. Six of Swords is, it's moving on to calmer waters. This is you leaving this behind to a calmer mind. This is moving on to a new status quo. This is a new truth out of an old truth. This was the old truth. What was before this was the old truth. When this person was there more for you, that was the old truth. That truth is in question right now. What is this person becoming? The new truth, this person's a workaholic. Yeah, they're bringing home the bacon. I'm just a neglected individual at home by myself all the time. That's your calmer water. That's the new truth. Loneliness. You may develop friends. You may find people to hang out with outside of work or outside of, whatever it is you do that doesn't include them. And then you have that Ten of Swords, a lot of truth here, because the situation is going to be validated, and this is what it will be. And trying to question this is going to upset what they think is the natural balance of the relationship. This is the ending of a truth and the beginning of a new one. This is finally coming to the realization that it is what it is. This will be your status quo. This life will be what it is. This is what it will become. What you are seeing now, minus your grief, is what you will be living. That's if nothing's done. If it stays the same. Success but loneliness. Let's see what happens. Let's say there is a change. What happens if our Libra makes a change? Changes their mindset. Where will that lead? Could be better, could be worse. Some people are hardwired to work more, and not working makes them feel useless, and feeling useless brings depression, brings grief. This may completely change. The dynamic here may be the complete opposite, where they feel useless. They feel like they could be doing more. And I'm not trying to defend them. I don't know who they are. Libra, this is for you to make the best choices in your life. But I definitely want you to look at all sides of the situation. Okay. Leading it off, and this question was, just to reiterate, what happens if, what is the most likely outcome if you make this big change? The Star, which is healing from past relationships, healing from past parts of a relationship. It's healing from the past. And this plays into this. This one represents you. You will heal because if they go back to what they were, you will go back to that mindset. You will have no reason to grieve because the things aren't the same as they are now. There's no reason to be upset because what's upsetting you no longer exists, right? Healing from the past, trusting in yourself. You in your mind have done the right thing because you're getting what you want. Then you have the Queen of Wands, which is creativity and ambition. I'm going to say ambition has a lot more to do with it because I'm thinking that this one and the next one are going to really play hand in hand. Creativity and ambition. Believe this more so is about your partner. They're going to lose that creativity, lose that ambition. Because they also have that Five of Wands. You remember when I said earlier that it might start to change, that it might start to flip? I'm really thinking that that's who this person is. If you change it to what it was before, their ambition, their ability to push forward, their ability to do the best things that they want to do for that relationship are not going to be as prevalent. And being overwhelmed, being burdened, this person may start seeing problems that may come up. They may start seeing problems that don't exist, thinking that, you know, the bank account is getting just a little too dry, and that may make them worried. Even though dry is subjective in the sense that what is your bottom line? If dry to them means, so if 100% of your money is going toward bills, okay, 100%, every cent, every dime you make, every, you know, whatever it is you make, goes toward paying bills, then you have zero money left over for anything else, all right? If 100% of your work is translated into bills, then you are going nowhere. Unless those are bills that you're eventually going to pay off, then obviously you're building towards something. But that note aside, if you're making 50% more than your bills require, then you're making more. You have excess assets. You are living in excess, which can be a good thing. If 50% more is what you're living at right now and they see that as success, if they lower their hours and now you're only making 25% more, they may see that as a burden. They may see that as unacceptable. Because yes, while you are still ahead of the game, some people like to be really ahead of the game. Hopefully that makes sense, Libra. Hopefully that makes sense. So normally I only ask 2 extra questions, but I need to know one thing, one particular thing, one very specific question. And this is the big one. This is the big one. How should Libra go about confronting this situation? Give me an idea to help Libra get through this. How about that one? Give me an idea to help Libra get through this situation. You don't have to do this. No 100% guarantee it will be the answer for you particularly, but usually some variation of whatever this is probably what you should consider more so than anything else. You got that Five of Cups again, grief. I know that sounds terrible, but I also have the Seven of Cups, which is dreaming, which is clarity. Confront your grief and understand, is it as bad as you think it is? Is it truly as bad as you think it is? And also, try to get the emotional understanding of the other person too. This person, at least in this situation, doesn't seem to be the villain. And you're not the villain either. What this is showing me is just a misunderstanding. They've become something a little different. And that can be hard to wrap your mind around, especially if you've been with this person for a long time. Drastic changes bring drastic, feelings. It's new, it's uncharted water. Libra, you have every reason to be confused and have no idea what's going on. And believe me, anybody would. I would be confused. Anybody would be confused. You have every right to be upset about that. And that grief comes naturally. Because when things change for what we perceive as the worst, what do? We become upset. We want things to be happy. Confront your grief. Do everything you can to set the emotions aside. I know it sounds like a tall order. I know it sounds easy coming from somebody else because you are the one who is living through this situation. You are the one. Libra, you are the one living through this. So it's easy to hear it from the outside. Try to look at it outside of your situation. Try to, at least for a few minutes, drop the emotional part and look at the situation itself. What are you truly grieving over? What is truly causing you to be overwhelmed? Something that I have done before is when I find myself to be in any emotional distress about something that I don't fully understand, is I've written it down. I've written it down on a piece of paper. It sounds like a weird therapist thing, but sometimes it really can help to get our frustrations out, and then go get you a coffee or a pop or soda, whatever it is that you do, just to go get your mind off of it for 2 or 3 minutes. Come back and look at that list and really think to yourself, are these things actually worth being upset about? And then write down, what are the benefits of what's going on? And if it is something that really does need addressed, if it is something that's really hurting you, do something about it. Because you only get one chance, you only get one life. But try to temper that emotion and understand that this person is who they are too. They only get one life. They only get one chance too. So don't let yourself suffer, but don't make them suffer either. Because that's the only way this relationship's going to work. Understand the reality of the situation. Confront your grief and get some clarity. Get clarity, and that will bring you emotional satisfaction, because you will at least understand where you're at in life. So keep that stuff in mind going forward. You can get through this, Libra. Wish I had better news for you, but I would rather you have the cold hard facts, the cold hard situation here, rather than just continuing to sit there and have no idea what's going on, because being in the dark is the absolute worst. So, Libra, I'll catch you next time.